Hello family, my name is Pastor Bonney. Thank you for joining us for master class. Today is day 4 of our master class session, and if you have not watched the previous session, I would encourage you to watch from the day 1 to yesterday. We've spoken a lot, and I know the 3 previous sessions will bless you so much. Today we are going to deal with the loyalty test in stewardship. The loyalty test in stewardship. So the question we'll ask ourselves is, what is loyalty? What is loyalty? Now, the Merriam-Webster dictionary says that loyalty is a strong support for someone or something no matter what happens. And it continues to say that loyalty means to be devoted, committed, and dedicated to someone or something. Okay, so loyalty in stewardship, or the loyalty test in stewardship, basically has to do with our commitment, dedication, and being devoted to whatever has been entrusted into our hands. And our scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 2 tells us that it is a requirement in stewardship that a man be found faithful. And being faithful means that being loyal, being dedicated, being devoted, being trustworthy, and being dependable. So that's what we are going to deal with it today. And we are going to group this loyalty test into the qualities of a loyal steward. In our previous session yesterday, we spoke about the characteristics of a good steward, but today we are focusing our attention on the loyal steward, the qualities of a loyal steward. And the first thing about a loyal steward is a loyal steward is supportive. A loyal steward is supportive. When you are a steward, what makes you a loyal steward is you support your leader's vision and the organizational vision no matter what. So if you are supporting, you support for the organization to succeed. And here the organization may mean the church, may mean your workplace, or wherever you find yourself as a steward. Okay, you support the vision of your leaders, and you also support and make sure that the vision succeed, the organization would succeed. Okay, now the second thing about a loyal steward is not a betrayer. Many stewards are betrayers, especially when it comes to human, where we are stewards over an organization, or stewards in the church, stewards in the business. We find ourselves betraying one another. Now, when you read Matthew 24 verse 10, it says that many people become betrayers because of offenses. That's why in our earlier session we spoke about forgiveness, because when you become offended and you are not able to forgive, there is the potential or the possibility that you become a betrayer. Okay, so being a loyal steward, you must take betrayal out of your life. You must not be a betrayer. Jesus was betrayed by one of his disciples. Okay, but I don't want you to be a steward who have the tag as a betrayer. So loyal stewards are not betrayers. Then a loyal steward is trustworthy and sincere. It's just like the characteristics of a good steward. So if you are loyal, you are trustworthy, and you are sincere, you don't have any ill motive against your leaders or against the organization that you belong to. You are sincere. Everything you say it out of what? A true heart or a pure heart. You don't have any ill motive. You are trustworthy. So in this time of stewardship, okay, we must be trustworthy. We must be sincere. Okay, we must be sincere in everything that we are doing. Now the fourth point is, a loyal steward is not critical. Loyal stewards are not fault finders. They do not criticize and speak evil about their leaders and the organizations that they belong. If you are a steward in a church, a steward at your workplace, a steward in a school or whatever, and you are very critical of your leaders, you criticize them, you speak evil against them, you say all manner of things against them, then it means that you are not being a loyal steward. You are not being a loyal steward. So you must refrain from speaking evil against your leaders. Don't speak evil against your pastors. Don't speak evil against your bosses. Don't speak evil against your CEOs. Don't speak evil against the higher authorities. You must not be a critical person. You must not be a fault finder in your organization or wherever you are still. We have people, they are fault finders. They never find anything good with the company or the organization that they belong to. The only thing they see is things being wrong. This thing is wrong. This thing is not good. No, you must not be a fault finder. Now in the Bible, when we read Numbers chapter 12 verse 1, it happened. The siblings of Moses, Miriam and Aaron, they spoke against Moses. And they said, look, we can also hear from God, like you think you are the only person that God can speak to, or you think you are the only person that God can use. And we have so many people like that. They are in organizations and they are in companies and they feel they are better than their bosses. Yes, you may be better than your boss, but you must not forget that at that moment, that person is your boss. That person is your leader. So you must submit. You must not be critical. Because when you become a critical steward, you are sowing bad seeds, and you reap every seed that you are sowing. When you also become a boss, those that serve under you will also become critical about you. It's because you have sown that evil seed. So don't be a critical steward. Always speak good about your leaders and the organization that you belong to. Now the fifth point is, a loyal steward does not rebel. Don't become a rebel in your organization, in the church, or wherever you find yourself, because rebellion is very dangerous. A loyal steward does not rebel against his leader in the organization that you belong to. Don't be a rebel, a gang leader in your organization. Don't be a gang leader in your church. Don't be a rebel in the organization that you belong, especially in the church. Schools, you find people that they portray themselves as rebels. No, then it means you are not being loyal. If you have a problem, if you have a challenge, or you are not comfortable with the way things are being done in the organization or by your leaders, use the appropriate channel to find solution to it. But don't rebel. Don't be a rebel in your organization. No, you must use the appropriate means and the appropriate channel to what? Address your grievances and to address the challenges that you have. You know, in the Bible, when we read Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, Satan was the first man to rebel in heaven. He got to a time in heaven, he decided that he wanted to overthrow God who had created him, because it was God who created Satan, Lucifer. But now he thought he had become so powerful that he wanted to overthrow God. So the spirit of rebellion was in him. So if you are a steward and you find yourself in an organization and you become a rebel, the Bible says that rebel or rebellion is a sin as witchcraft. So when you become a rebel in the organization, then you can be equated to, I don't want to be harsh, but as a witch or a wizard. Because it says that 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 23 says that for rebellion is as the sin of a witchcraft. So to be a good steward or a loyal steward, you must not be a rebel. You must not be a rebel. Find good ways and good channels by which you can address your grievances and deal with the challenges that you are facing in your organization. Now, moving on, the next point I would want to talk about is a loyal steward does not withhold information. Okay, when you are in an organization and you realize that certain things are going out of order, don't withhold the information from your superiors. It will be better to tell them that this is what is happening in the organization, so that they will be able to address it and find lasting solution. But you shouldn't withhold the information and use it as a weapon against your organization or your leaders. It means that you are becoming a rebel. Now, sometimes when we don't withhold information, we help the information become, the institution or the organization become better. Now, when you read the book of Corinthians, especially 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 1 going, because Paul was informed about certain things happening in the church, he was able to find lasting solution. Okay, he was able to find lasting solutions to the challenges in the church. If he was not told, probably situations would have been worsened and situations would have been very bad, and it would have ended up in destroying the organization. Because as a pastor, one of the things I've come to realize is sometimes because of the leadership positions, we don't get to hear certain information. Some informations are only circulate within the members or within the junior staff is circulated. So if you as the pastor or you as the leader, you are not privileged to be informed on what is going on or what has become a disorder in the organization, you will not know. And by the time you realize things have gone bad, and sometimes they have gone so bad that repairing becomes very, very difficult. And we know that it is better to stop the thing from completely destroying than to wait for it to be destroyed before we find solutions. Sometimes it will be too late, and it will be very difficult to handle it, and it will be very difficult to deal with it. So as a good steward, you must not withhold information from your superiors and from your leaders. You must not withhold information from your superiors and from your leaders. Now, the next point I would want to talk about is a loyal steward is obedient. A loyal steward is obedient. A loyal steward does not reproduce his own ideas and visions, but rather obeys instructions genuinely without any ill motive. Many of us are in organizations and we are working with people, and we don't obey. We don't support the vision of our leaders. We don't support the ideas of our leaders. We try to reproduce our own visions, and we try to reproduce our own ideas. We try to reproduce our own visions, and we try to reproduce our own ideas. But it must not be so. You must support the visions and ideas of your leaders, the visions and ideas of the organization that you belong to. You must always obey without any ill motive. Some of us, we obey, our obedience is face value. We just obey, face. Yeah, because people are there, we obey. But in our minds, we are being disobedient. In our minds, we are being disobedient. Okay? And as the Bible says, obedience is always better than sacrifice. We must always be obedient wherever we find ourselves as stewards. And our obedience first goes to God. Our obedience first goes to God. Our obedience first goes to God. Then it goes to the leaders that God has given to us, and our obedience goes to the organization. Wherever you find yourself, you must be a loyal steward. You must be obedient to even if you disagree to the vision, to the ideas of your leaders, obey and support it. By obeying and supporting, that's where if you bring other opinions, it will be considered. But if you don't obey and you don't support the vision, and you try to reproduce your own visions and your own ideas, it becomes very, very dangerous. Okay, so as loyal stewards, we must what? Always be obedient, no matter what. No matter what. Okay, now the next point is a loyal stewardly genuinely admires and praises his leader and organization always. Like as we said previously, you must always speak good about your leaders, genuinely, not because you are asked to do so or because you are told to do so. You must genuinely speak well of your leaders and your organization, because when you speak well of your leaders and your organization, that's where your organization becomes attractive for people to what? Come to it. I have a principle that I always say that if you feel the organization that you are working with or your organization that you belong to, whether a church or whatever that you belong to, you are not comfortable, you are not okay with it, it will be better to leave than to be part and create problems and speak evil about the organization and speak evil about the leaders. It means that you are not being a loyal steward, you are being a disloyal steward. So since you are not ready to leave the organization, you are not ready to leave the church, you are not ready to leave your leader, and you are part, then genuinely praise them and support. Say good things about the organization. Many of us, especially me being a pastor, we have so many people who belong to a church, they never say any good thing about their church, and you expect people to come. Because you've already marketed, it's just like marketing. When you market something good, that's what people will be attracted. And they will purchase whatever you are marketing. But if you speak evil about your brand, how would people be attracted to it? It's just like you going to town, you are selling, let me use this, you are selling fruit. And you keep saying, these fruits I'm selling is not sweet. If you eat, you'll be sick. Do you think people will come and purchase or patronize the fruits you are selling? No. It's the same way when it comes to our organization and the church or whatever we are stewards. When we keep speaking evil about the organization, the more we speak evil about our leaders, the more they become unattractive for others or people to admire them. So let's speak good about our organization. Let us become loyal stewards. Let us become loyal stewards. In conclusion of today's section, I want to ask you a question. Are you a loyal steward? Think about it. Do a self-assessment and self-evaluation. You know yourself. You know yourself. I always say this, that only 2 people knows you more than everyone in this world. And whatever these 2 people say about you is the truth. Only 2 people or 2 persons knows you more than anyone in this world. And whatever these 2 persons say about you is the truth. And the 2 persons are you, yourself, and God. Apart from God and yourself, nobody knows you. The people around you, your parents, your family, and your friends, they only know what you show to them. And they only have a perception of what you show to them. But you know yourself than any of them, and God knows you because it is God who created you. So my question again, are you a loyal steward? Are you loyal with where you are? Be a loyal steward. It doesn't matter the challenges or the difficulties in the organization or wherever you find yourself. Be a loyal steward, because loyalty comes with so many blessings, and loyalty comes with so many things that will come to blow our mind, because our God, who has given us all that we have, is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or we think. But it all comes down to being good and loyal stewards. God bless you, and thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow for the final session of our Stewardship Masterclass. God bless you.